welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to a clash of titans on ice. Tonight we witness one of hockey's greatest rivalries, Canada versus the United States. Two nations, two hockey powerhouses, and one mission, which is victory. Welcome to the 2025 Para Series. I'm Mitch Kane, joined alongside by Stéphane Berube. Stéphane, we are in for a great week of hockey between two of the world's greatest.
There's nothing better than USA versus Canada hockey. And today we get some para hockey action as these two teams face off in a three-game series for both men and women's. As for the men's, this is an important series as at the end of the month of May, they head to Buffalo for the World Championship of Para Hockey, and that's a crucial tournament as the top 5 teams in that tournament qualify for the Paralympics in Italy for 2026.
It's a good tune-up for both teams coming in as Canada and the USA number 1 and number 2 in the para hockey rankings. So both teams excited to get underway. It's a packed barn here at Canada Games Park in Thorold, Ontario. School day game, lots of kids here in the building. Lots of excitement in the building as well, but let's jump into the statistics. Let's look at the head-to-head numbers between these two sides.
Well, we're looking at these two countries. They're by far two powerhouse, but USA is on a different level of powerhouse. In the last 30 between Canada, they've won 28 out of 2. And since 2011, USA has not finished outside in the top 2. They've always been either a winner or a silver medalist. 18 of those 25, they were won by the US. 7 won by the Canadians. The Canadians 6-14 in gold medal games against the US in the last 20 tournaments. But USA, obviously on less than a year before the Paralympics, they are looking to win a 5th straight Paralympics para hockey. This is a powerhouse, next level powerhouse, but they still got to go against the second best country in para hockey, which is Team Canada.
And looking between the pipes on your screen right now, Jen Lee, one of the best goaltenders in all of para hockey. Jen Lee sports a 42-2 record in international play with a 0.65 goals against average and a .907 save percentage. Going against tonight, Corbin Watson for the Canadians, a 57-21 record with a 1.266 goals against average. Should be in for a great matchup between the pipes as we will throw it down to rink level for the playing of the national anthems. And now as we go down to ice level, the starting lineup for Team USA. In between the pipes, it's Jen Lee. On the back end, Chris Douglas alongside Jack Wallace. Up front, Travis Dotson, Chris Douglas, and Brett Bolton for the Canadians. Between the pipes, Corbin Watson. On the back end, Rob Armstrong and Orin Halbert. On forward, Adam Dixon, Vincent Boyle, and Matthew Liliev.
Here we go. Game number 1 of 3. Canada and the Americans. Obviously, Canada having a little bit of momentum with the Four Nations face-off and the bronze medal for the CONCACAF in soccer. We'll see if this momentum carries on to the sport of para-hockey.
Canada and USA, one of the greatest rivalries of all time in sports, is the Americans meeting in front of their net. The Canadians lined up, ready to go. 15-minute periods here in para-hockey. We are getting ready to take place. Jen Lee gets his spot in net. Corbin Watson tapping between the posts. Referee for tonight's game, Mark Blackmore. The linesman, Teresa Laurent, and Ian Rush. Mark Blackmore heads to center as getting ready for the draw. It's Evan Nichols against Adam Dixon. Nichols from Haymarket, Virginia. Dixon from Midland, Ontario. Goalies are set. We are set. And here we go. Game 1 of the Para Series is underway. It's taken by Boyle as he has quick work as it's dumped in deep by Dixon. Dixon sends it all the way behind the net. On it first will be Douglas. Douglas drops it off as the first hit is laid by the Canadians. This one is played up to the point, held at the line, and spun back in deep. Douglas chips this off the boards, and here comes an early rush for the Americans. It's Dotson to the outside. Dotson throws on the brakes quickly, lost control of it, and a big hit laid on the far side. The Americans now with it behind the net. Trying to shuffle it out front, but is cut off quickly as it's going to be moved out by Armstrong. Nice puck movement there by Boyle as he lost it for a second, but Armstrong's able to work it out to neutral. It's going to be fired in deep right on target, and an early save by Watson as Wallace sent that one in from distance. Dixon will work it out. Dixon, the saucer pass through just a little too far as he was looking for Halbert. Halbert goes in on the corner. He's cut off quickly by 2 Americans as the puck sits loose in the corner. Battle for it ensues as Declan Farmer had it tied up, the leading scorer for the Americans. Long stretch pass out is taken in by Eustace. Now to the far side, Dixon backdoor feed, a tip just wide of the target. A great chance for the Americans early as the puck comes out to neutral. The captain for the Americans, Josh Pauls, will send it in deep as Farmer has control but loses it quickly. As it will be turned over as Cozzolino starts to work it out. Pauls tries to send it back in deep, but it's knocked down by Sikalavin. As it will be played through neutral again. Musselman sauces it to the far side, to the open ice, as it will be now a chase. Tyrone Henry going to be first to it. Henry loses control. Taken right out in front. Couldn't be covered up by Watson. Puck still loose on the side of the net. Cozzolino looking to work it out, but he's immediately checked by Jones. Loose puck to the corner. Lavin looking to work it out. Lavin, a feed on the back shoulder. This one's chipped up, but a big hit laid in the middle of the ice by Grove. Musselman whiffed on that puck as it's taken away by the Canadians. This one played back in deep behind the net, but Royball's going to be first to it. Brody Royball from North Lake, Illinois, takes a big hit. Walking in now, all alone, one-on-one chance, couldn't pull the trigger. Puck still loose at the side of the net, but Armstrong couldn't get it by Lee. This one now taken away and a chance for the Americans. A big hit in the middle of the ice. Orion Halbert immediately stopping Beasley in his tracks. Coming now the other way are the Americans, and pass over the middle of the ice. but a hit laid by Kovacevic, and here comes a one-on-one the other way. The Canadians looking to build up momentum, but be quickly taken away there by Hickey. Grove walks in looking for the backdoor feed, couldn't get it all the way through. Mischevitz moves it down low, but a bump in the middle of the ice as the Americans couldn't get all the way through. Going to be a chase for the puck now. Will it go for icing? Yes, it will. As we get the first whistle of the game, as we'll look to the keys of the game for the Canadians.
Well, it's certainly been a physical start to this one, but looking at the keys of the game for Russ Harrington's team, Canada, he wants his offense to start from a defensive commitment. They obviously understand that this is a powerhouse team loaded with offensive weapons. So in order to start the offense, you need some good defense. He wants efficient, getting pucks out, and he wants smart and strategic puck placement, which we have seen so far early in this one.
Americans win the draw as a long one-time shot in, goes wide of the target. Dotson, he's going to be first on it. He gets hammered into the boards, still with control of it, as Armstrong's trying to knock it loose from him. A race for the puck, scooped up by the Canadians. It's Jacobs Webb. He's trying to get across, but he's immediately cut off by 3 Americans. Americans a chance the other way. That one's going to be knocked off for a moment by Boyle, but still on the puck is Wallace. Wallace takes to the corner, but is stripped away by the Canadians. This one flipped long down the ice. Long lead feed just couldn't control it.
Missed opportunity as Nicole's lost his stick. He had to retrieve that one in a possible all-man rush, but the pass just behind.
This one's going to be chipped off the boards. No ice in the call as Dixon fires it in deep, but Lee couldn't slow it up for his defenseman. Bolton moves that one forward as the Americans look to start the outlet. Long-range saucer pass right onto the tape of Nichols. Nichols gets cut off hard as he's looking for a drop pass, trying to fire it right in the lane. Chance and type, a great save by Watson.
Looking at USA's keys to the game, David Hoff wants his team and his players to have different roles. Obviously, there's a lot of star power in this team. He wants to see if one player can maybe carry their line. He wants them to excel and step up in their roles.
Americans back in on another offensive zone draw. Farmer wins that cleanly. It's a Musselman. Musselman, a low-lining shot, just missing wide of the target. Eustace played it right in front. Upcoming penalty. As it's going to be a teeing call, I believe, to the Canadians.
Teeing penalty is something you don't see. It's stand-up hockey, but it is a penalty in para hockey. If you want to compare it, it's sort of like a hit from behind. And so a loaded Americans team offensively now get a power play in the first 5 minutes. But so far, an exciting start to this one. The crowd's gotten into it. Canada really laying down the bodies, but now they got a penalty to kill.
Zach Lavin to the box, 2 minutes for teeing. The Americans looking to take advantage right into the slot. Firing a shot, great block by the Canadians, as it was Declan Farmer who found himself alone in the slot. Farmer waits, tries to move it through, down low, great save by Watson, puck still loose on the side. Pauls controls, moves it back, Farmer fires again, blocked away by Armstrong. Into the corner now, Roybal, he has that one quickly taken away. Canadians can't clear the line, but they finally will as Paul's applying the pressure, but Paul's pins the Canadians to the boards as it just can't come free. Roybal, he moves it over just onside. Mischevitz gets hammered across the line as laying the body was Halbert, and it's sent down the length of the ice.
Now, one difference you could see compared to stand-up hockey is these athletes, they can't skate backwards, so there's a lot of twisting and turning, and so it's a lot of adjustments, and Canada getting it out.
This one saucered forward. As first to it will be Henry. Henry, he takes the body from Mischevitz. Puck is just pinned against the boards as the penalty clock hasn't started. No one's really noticed this, but the penalty is not ticking off the game clock. As that one's played right into the slot, no one on the receiving end, and it will head all the way back to neutral, so we don't really know how much time is left on this penalty.
That's a good job by Tyrone Henry below the goal line, seeing a body coming and taking the hit, but able to protect the puck, and an icing call against the Americans will bring the face-off all the way back to their end. As you mentioned it, they didn't start the time, but it looks like the timekeepers certainly know when the penalty started. But so far, a solid penalty kill for the Canadians there. You see a big hit by Halbert, the biggest one of the game so far. And a good kill, keeping the puck to the outside. A couple good looks for the Americans, though. But so far, good start for the special teams for Team Canada.
Halbert, 31 points in 68 career international games, but showing the physicality there as 23 seconds is on the penalty clock. Once again, it's not running, though, as it's stopped on the clock as of now. As this one's fired across high, almost into the bench. The Americans are offside. The Canadians try and slap it down as we are back to 5-on-5. Farmer, now the burst speed, tries to toe drag it through but lost control. Now a chance the other way for the Canadians. Jacobs Webb had it knocked off his stick for a second as cutting to the outside was done. Jacobs Webb trying to apply the pressure on Cunningham as Cunningham will just play behind his own net. A nice move there as it's moved to the far side. Streaking in is Nichols. Nichols to the slot, but his man got tied up. As will be taken to the far side boards. Armstrong is able to clear this one back out to center as Nichols is checked by Dunn. Race for the puck. Jacobs Webb can't knock his man off the puck. Cutting in. Fires a shot. Blockered away by Watson. Up and out of play.
We talked about the keys to the game, and now we're going to take a look at the head coach for the Americans. David Hoff, in his 6th season for over a decade, has been dedicated to USA's hockey coaching education program. He also mentioned to us that he's in his 36th year as being a high school math teacher. And on the other side, we've got the current York University head coach for men's hockey, Russ Harrington, joined the Team Canada's para-hockey coaching staff in 2022.
Puck comes out to neutral as this one will be just dumped in deep. Race for the puck now as it's pushed off the puck. There was Cozzolino. Cozzolino gets taken hard in the boards as McGregor, the captain for Canada, tries to scoop that one out. Plays at the side of the net. Lee with a quick cover but couldn't get it all as the Canadians were crashing the net hard. Cozzolino right to the slot. McGregor fires a low-lining shot, scooped up by Lee.
Lee with a big stop, able to shut the 5-hole down for his biggest save of the match. Great opportunity for Team Canada. Looking at that, wide open in the slot and just couldn't get it up, but he was attempting for the 5-hole, but Lee shuts it down. Now looking on defense for the Americans, Josh Pauls has played over 200 games with the Americans, 66 goals, 129 assists for 195 points.
Tyler McGregor, who was denied on that last chance for the Canadians, the leading scorer for the Canadians, 271 points in 179 international games. This one fired on, blocked in front. Puck is still loose at the side of the net. Dixon couldn't scoop it up. Eustace will just play this to the far side as Dixon couldn't cut it off, as one stick is gone, I believe, for Wallace, as he'll go scoop that back up. So now tied up on the far side boards as it's going to be chipped forward for the Americans. They clear the line and play it to open space. This one played behind the Canadian net. A race for the puck ensues as Lavin gets pinned to the boards there by Jones. Jones comes free, plays it right out in the slot. Watson's got to act quickly as he's got it covered up as the Americans crashing the net hard early.
Eustace cutting to the net and a good opportunity, but Watson ready for that one. Eustace looking for his 20th goal with the American program. And so far in this one, as you can see there, cuts towards the net, gets off a man. But so far, there's not much open ice with how physical this game has been. Team Canada and the Americans really shutting that open ice down, and it requires a lot of quick puck movement in order to find some open space.
Roybal tried to spin and fire, but it got blocked away by the Canadian number 4 and James Dunn. This one will be moved forward as a chase forward ensues. Halbert's going to be there first, but Mischevitz bearing down on him. Dunn will just chip this off the boards as it's worked out by the Canadians. They go in on the chase as bearing down on it for the Americans is Musselman. He's got to act quickly as Jacob Webb is cutting him off. as it's played down the length of the ice. No icing the call. Canadians will touch up. Halbert has it between his legs, and Halbert sees daylight. He gets hammered into the boards right at the timekeeper's box, as will be played in deep.
That's incredible patience from Halbert. From his own end, had two bodies on him and able to get it across the red line and in.
This one cycled to the far side of the ice as a big hit laid by Lavin. Battle between the two sevens, Caden Beasley and Zach Lavin. As the puck's finally dumped in deep, Watson will let it go as he sends his defenseman Tyrone Henry in on the chase. Puck is tied up behind the Canadian net as Bolton will just ring it around for his teammates. Lavin tries to clear the line, can't get it out. Americans play right out in front, no one in the slot, as this one will clear the line and the Americans have to reset. Cunningham plays to the far side for Dotson. Dotson will just play it in deep once again. Watson will stay in his net as Lavin looks to start the breakout for the Canadians. This one chipped on the boards. Chasing now is Boyley. Boyley cuts across the middle, makes one man miss, makes a miss again. Boyley with a great cut to the outside as he gets hammered into the American bench. Long shot in. Lee makes the initial pad save as it goes to the corner. Lavin drops it off in the corner. This one played up high. Taking it at the point is Henry. He'll just cycle it back down low as it takes a hard bounce off the end boards and will be taken in by the Americans. This one chipped off but kept in for a moment by Dixon as the puck will be played into the corner. Bolton. He gets hammered by Boyley, and that's going to be a penalty as Boyley's getting sent to the box for head contact. The Americans go back to the power play.
That's a tough way to end what it was a great shift for Vincent Boyley. Started this offensive zone pressure by going to his right, left, going through four USA bodies, and then tries to lay the body. He does, but he gets his shoulder, gets some head, and that is the right call by the refs as the Americans get their second power play of the afternoon, and let's hope this time they'll run the clock on the scoreboard.
It would make it easier on us, that's for sure, as head coach Russ Harrington asking the official about that head contact call. As we saw the replay, it looked like the shoulder might have got up. It was a little close to the chest head area, but regardless, the penalty's not going to come off the board as we finally have the shots updated on the scoreboard as well. 5-3 in the early goings for the Americans. 3:19 to go here in the first period. The Americans, as we've talked about, so dangerous on the power play. So many high-end skilled players. Josh Paul's out there. Declan Farmer out there. Brody Roybal out there.
And one thing that David Hobb mentioned to us as it's para hockey, it's not really a popular sport. And USA, he mentioned how they're very thankful and grateful to have this amount of depth. They have 18 guys on their list right now, and only 17 can be on the World Championship. So big hit there.
And a nice knockdown as the Americans keep it in. Farmer moves it far side. Roybal a shot. He scores. Brody Roybal squeaks it through Watson, and the Americans lead 1-0.
Brody Roybal, one of the other top offensive weapon in only 147 games. He scored 126, now 127 goals with the American. That's just great puck movement. Starts at the top. They go to the hash marks to the right-hand side, cutting. Nice play there by Farmer. And a cross-ice pass to Roybal. And just like that, USA has the icebreaker.
Might have got tipped in front. Looks like Mischevitz was sitting in the blue paint. And I believe as we go back to that Boyley call, I believe it was a 2-10 for head contact. This is moved to the far side. Tie up in the neutral zone as across the line are the Americans. Here comes Farmer again as he fires a shot. It got blockered away there by Watson.
You can just tell how fast this American team is. Harrington mentioned how the Americans really bring out the best of this Canadians team, and even that, playing at their best, might still not be enough.
Declan Farmer picked up the assist on that power play goal, making it his 155th assist ever in international play. Now with 358 points in international play, the American active leader on the team as Declan Farmer also received an ESPY in 2014 for Best Male Athlete with a Disability, and he won Best Male Athlete in the Sochi 2014 Paralympics. So Declan Farmer, one of the premier players in the world. And when we talked to head coach David Hoff, he mentioned he's a game changer. He has changed the sport of para-hockey. We've already seen how skilled he is. As here he comes in again as Farmer tried to shovel that through. He wants a call as he got tied up, and we get some pushing and shoving after the whistle as Watson covers up with 1:51 to go.
That's a much-needed whistle, and a good job by Watson to cover that up because his defenseman, Tyrone Henry, lost a stick, and when you lose one stick in para-hockey, it becomes a lot more challenging to move around. I also want to mention how Liam Hickey nearly got away with what could have been a hooking penalty on the neutral ice. But so far, shots 6-3 in favor of the Americans, putting a lot of pressure on this Canadians team.
And Liam Hickey celebrated his 27th birthday yesterday. So happy birthday to Liam Hickey, as this one will be played out by the Canadians. Dunn, first to it. He shuffles this one forward, and Lee will just slow it up as he'll leave it for Wallace. Wallace saucers one through the middle as it got blocked momentarily, but sent down the length of the ice as Henry tries to chip it forward. Roybal makes a nice move. Roybal trying to get through, but it has the puck knocked off for a minute. Americans get it right back. Looking backdoor feed. Couldn't fit all the way through as that was McKee looking for the return pass to Roybal. Wallace trying to dance through the Canadians as he's just pushed to the outside. Douglas fires that one through, but it's blocked away by the Canadians. Here comes a potential rush for the Canadians. That one just outside the reach of Jacobs Webb. As first to the puck will be Douglas. We have reached the final minute of the first period. Americans trying to get set up as this one's fired down the length of the ice. Roybal went sliding for a second as it allows Rob Armstrong to get there first. Dunn gets the center and fires it in deep as Dunn takes a hit. Lee can't stretch out to reach that one. This one's saucered forward, intercepted by Burnett as he fires this one right on target, glove down by Lee. Mischevitz, he takes a body as the Americans struggling to get it out of their own end right now as it's turned over. Here come the Canadians with their best chance of the game. Backdoor feed, McGregor couldn't pull the trigger. The leading scorer for the Canadians couldn't get the shot off cleanly in the slot. Canada now, 10 seconds on the clock. Have to act quickly. McGregor couldn't get that one out as it's sent down the length of the ice. This one will be right on target and will end an entertaining first period of play. Score 1-0 for the Americans. Shots 6-3 for Team USA.
Overall, this was a great period for both teams. Obviously, Canada running into some penalty trouble. They're going to have to watch out because you don't want to give this highly loaded offensive team more offensive zone time. But overall, I'm loving the way they're laying the bodies down, playing a physical game, trying to take away that open space. And in that last minute, that was great forechecking by the Canadians, a great way to end the period and hopefully carry that momentum into the second period.
Game one of the Para Series has reached the end of the first. We'll catch you back here in about 15 minutes for second period action between Team Canada and Team USA.
The game of lacrosse was given to the Haudenosaunee people from the creator as a gift. Nice, good catch.
The game of lacrosse is played for healing. It's often called the medicine game.
It's a game that's about respect, and mostly it's the medicine.
The National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, it's so important because it signifies a day that allows us to come together and to remember and try and reconcile and remember why we're in the midst of truth and reconciliation.
Giving back to whoever's sick or whoever is needing it. For me personally, it's always playing for the people that played before me, people that are playing now, and the people that are playing after. Gift to us, to gift to the world.
Rugby is definitely a unique sport. There's so many different aspects to it that not only physically but mentally, it definitely takes its toll on you.
You get beat up pretty bad on the field and it can kind of drag you down once you get back to school and through the week.
Seeing big dudes run around and then talk about their emotions and stuff is something you don't normally see. And it's something that we need to see. We need to see people showing their emotion side, showing that it's okay to not be okay.
I think just leading back to the rugby team, we're such a tight community that if you can have those open talks, then nobody's alone.
Rugby is really important, but there's bigger goals and there's bigger objectives.
We've always wanted to be involved in the community, driving programs like this where we can actually see actionable and measurable impacts.
Just try to do more than just be good athletes on the rugby field. We want to be good people as well.
We're looking to help out in the community and to do something that's just a bit bigger than ourselves.
Every single year, women in sport continue to rise.
It's so cool to see the women's game finally get the attention that they deserve.
We all support each other, and I've never seen that before.
You know, let's keep looking, let's keep getting better, let's keep growing, right? It's getting there, but it's not there.
We need to go and be us and be the best version of us so far this season.
I love the acknowledgement of women in sports.
I think it's only up from here. I think there's no limit on where it can go. There's not a single person in the world that can't see that this is really special, so I think there's no stopping it at all.
This is a historic day in the women's game.
Great morning to talk about women's sport. We just talked about the draft and the PWHL. Now we're going to focus for the next few minutes on women's professional soccer.
I'm very grateful that there is a league starting for women in Canada.
For like 6-year-olds to be like, oh my gosh, I can play professional soccer in Canada.
Rugby has been growing over the years so much. We have incredible teams and incredible national teams that do amazing things.
Like I said, it's a new league, but the aspirations are huge. Women's pro sport is so new.
Toronto, welcome to the W.
First ever PWHL hockey game in Vancouver, a sold-out crowd welcomed the best in women's hockey.
It's so cool to see the women's game finally get the attention that they deserve.
Well, I think it's the biggest day in the history of women's hockey, I really do.
Never thought I'd see it in my lifetime, and I did, and thank goodness.
We need to go and be us and be the best version of us so far this season.
At no point did I ever think that I would have the option of coaching professional soccer in Canada.
There's so many women in this game that have been phenomenal at blazing a trail for these young girls.
Every single year, women in sport continue to rise. There's no end to it.
I think it's just looking outside the box and bigger picture, not just tunnel vision on, oh, it's pretty good right now. Well, it is, but let's keep looking, let's keep getting better, let's keep growing, right? It's getting there, but it's not there.
I love the acknowledgement of women in sports. I think it's so important just for all the younger athletes to see what they can do. I think we're lucky as women in Canada because we have such a strong national team to look up to.
Rugby has been growing over the years so much, especially for women's rugby. Like, it has grown so much. Like, Canada just won 15s last year.
We've come a long way. as a country, but there's no professional women's team in Canada, so I would love to see them develop a pro team here, and I think we're on the right path. It's always growing, and it's awesome.
There's been like a spike. I feel like in Canada, like soccer has become super big for women.
When I was a player, there was no semi-professional, there was no professional league to aspire to in Canada.
I definitely noticed as I was growing up, like there would become more and more leagues available. For example, when I was younger, I would play on my brother's team because there wasn't a team that like I would fit into. But like now, those options are available. There's OPDL, there's League 1, League 2, there's U20, there's so many different opportunities for people to be able to like, especially women, to be able to explore that.
Canada's kicking off their first ever women's professional league, and it's kicking off in 2 months, 3 months. I think it's incredibly exciting.
When I was growing up, we only knew the famous men's players. So I think it's a beautiful thing to see that these kids are able to look up to some women in their sports.
Fast forward to where we are now, it's incredible how far we've come. Obviously, also saying there's still a long ways to go, but I think it's important to credit the progression that we've made.
Honest to God, so since I was a player, you know, that's like 50 years ago. It's unbelievable.
Within the last kind of like 5 years, the girls like minor programs have really been elevated in a different way.
I didn't really start playing hockey, organized hockey, until I was about 12. My family, they didn't think it was normal for girls to be playing hockey. And there was a team that I signed up with my brother, and they wouldn't allow me to because I was a girl.
Originally, I started playing ringette when I was younger because I didn't want to play with my brother. So now when I do go home and I see that there are girls teams for all the young ones, it's pretty cool.
Girls that are coming up through minor hockey right now are coming up at the perfect time because you know, as the professional side grows, there's going to be more teams that come around, and there's going to be lots of room for them.
Like, the opportunity is immense, and it's just not for players, but it's for officials, it's for medical staff and trainers and stats and analytics and equipment people, and like there's so much, and it's just so cool and so wonderful.
I think it's only up from here. I think there's no limit on where it can go. There's not a single person in the world that can't see that this is really special, so I think there's no stopping it at all.
I would say at times difficult, but very, very rewarding.
It's difficult because of opportunity. It's always people second guessing you. It's always people doubting you.
I think one of the challenges is just always needing to prove ourselves. There's always a push here for the women's team to be able to fight for their spot.
If they don't believe in me, then I don't believe in myself sometimes.
The biggest thing is always seeing the equity piece not being there. And no matter what coaching position I have been in, there's always been that challenge of, hey, this isn't right, and always having to fight.
Played on teams where the women's team in this club is put down, they are put to the side, they aren't cared about. There's times when we on club teams have been given like all of the flat balls in training, and you're given the minimum, but it's just little things that make it harder to succeed.
So it gets really quite fatiguing, where you're constantly trying to battle for something that, in my mind, should just be a norm and should be in place already.
So it's tough. You have to fight battles, and you have to fight for what you believe your team deserves. But I also think it's incredibly rewarding because there are times when you aren't given the same resources as other teams and you succeed more.
I think it's just always those hurdles, and like, I got by, I got by, I got by.
We've created an insane amount of resilience in push, and I think for me that will follow everywhere in my job, in my future as a person.
You're going to learn resilience and grit. All of those things are really important things to learn in life. And what a better way to learn it through sport, and in a sport you love and you're having fun with, and you have an instant group of family that you're you're leaving family, but coming into an instant family here, right? It's amazing.
It's been incredible to see the community at Brock, truly, especially the women's community.
We are very fortunate to have as many women coaches as we do. And like I said, I think it's quite rare. Like our executive director of Brock Sports and Recreation and our associate director of Brock Sports are both women. We have women's basketball, female head coach, women's hockey, female head coach. Rowing, I'm not even gonna say women's rowing. Rowing has a female head coach and a female associate head coach.
I don't think that you get that a lot anywhere else. And we kind of all just rally together and we're here for each other. And
the community that we have, just I think one of the best that I've ever been in terms of direct colleagues. And I think when the players get to see us collaborating with each other too, it just creates an environment where they want to do it as well.
Us being student athletes, we're such a small cohort here at Brock, and it's a unique ability to be a varsity athlete.
Specifically women who have gone through what you've gone through, which isn't necessarily these big challenges, but just being a woman in sport is a challenge in itself sometimes.
We've all kind of had like some shared events, like one Canada event that's kind of led us to this area, whether that's playing on a boys team when we were younger because we needed to play up but there wasn't that team available.
We can obviously find those connections really quickly and understand what we're going through.
We all support each other, and I've never seen that before. We go to each other's sports because we know how hard it is to play a game and not have people come watch you because you're a women's team.
Like those little efforts make so much impact on such a small community of Brock sports. Like it was amazing.
Supporting each other is the best way to kind of get out there, make some friends, and really just hone in that we are special here on campus. And I think there's so many amazing athletes here that go beyond their careers at Brock and do fantastic things. Everyone's so talented, and I think it's fascinating every single time that I go support another team.
It's honestly been beautiful to see it. It's like a heartwarming moment. We have so many teams come support us. The women's basketball team comes to our games, women's volleyball, rugby. It really creates bonds and supports the teams, understanding that, you know, we're there for you and we know where you're at. I think it helps us to be better players and to just be better people, honestly.
Constant reminder that, you know, we belong here. Constant reminder that we can do just the same that the boys can. It might look a little different, but, you know, we're just as tough, we're just as mean. You know, we're strong, we're capable, and we're pretty badass, so. I think that it's a really special feeling to, you know, be one of very many women in sport that are every day trying to prove someone wrong and blaze a trail for the ones coming up behind us.
Welcome back to period 2 of game number 1 of the 2025 Paris Series. After 15 minutes of play, Team USA leads on the scoreboard 1-0, as well as in the shot category 6-4. I'm Mitch Kane, joined alongside by Stefan Berube. Stefan, what are we expecting here in the second period, as well your thoughts on the first?
I think we're going to expect the exact same thing from the first, except a little bit more discipline from Team Canada, but overall, it's USA versus Canada. It's going to be a physical game from the first minute to the last minute, so I expect that to be the same. Overall, I think it was a great period for both teams. Again, Canada running into a little bit of trouble on the penalty. They really have to make sure they stay smart, stay strong, continue to lay the bodies, take the open space away, and even create possible on-man rushes with those hits that you lay down.
Team USA with 2 power plays in the first period, going 1 for 2 on their opportunities. No power plays for Team Canada to this point. As we get set for second period action, Jacob Webb in on the draw for the Canadians as it's tied up and taken by Jacobs Webb. He loses it quickly to Dodson as this one's fired in deep, as Watson will just play it to the outside. Kovacevic can't clear the line as it's moved back over the middle and knocked away by the Canadians. Back in on the attack is Dotson, the assistant captain for Team USA, as he fires it to the far side corner. Jacobs Webb will chip it off the board. Dotson stepping up. He'll take it outside of the line as he gets cleared out momentarily as the linesman got taken out as the sled got him right by the ankles. As this one will be played in by the Americans. Wallace in on the attack. Wallace takes a bump from Henry as the Canadians cannot clear the line. Jones stepping up, leaves it off. Farmer, long shot in, low passes. That one's played to the far side corner. Farmer's going to step up on it first. Farmer with a burst of speed at the top of the circle. Long pass over to Wallace. Wallace fires a left-hand shot. Caught there by Watson.
Jack Wallace showing off some of his skills. One of the highly offensive defensemen this team has. He's got 147 points in 100 games. Showed it in the first period. Shows it here at the start of the second period. Had a good opportunity in the slot. Good puck protection, but just missed wide of the net. Good shift for him, and so far a heavy start for this USA team.
Jack Wallace from Franklin Lakes, New Jersey. Also the active leader in penalty minutes for Team USA with 85 throughout his 100 games of international play. Game 101 for Jack Wallace as he has reached the triple-digit threshold, and a penalty upcoming here to the Americans. As it will be Farmer going to the box, 2 minutes for roughing as the Canadians get their first power play of the night.
And that's a much-needed power play upcoming because it really looked like the Americans dominated that first minute of the period, and a much-needed upcoming power play. We'll take a look at their power play. We'll see who's on the ice. They're going to rely heavily on guys like McGregor, Dixon, Cozzolino. And so far, a good opportunity to even this thing out at one apiece and get the crowd going.
And funny enough, Declan Farmer, now the active leader in penalty minutes for the United States with 86 minutes. He was just 1 minute behind Wallace, but overtakes him with that latest 2-minute penalty.
He heard you, and he's like, you know what, let me change that real quick.
He wants to lead in every stat. He leads in goals, assists, points, and now penalty minutes for the United States. This one's turned over right in the slot. Chance for a short-handed goal for the Americans, but couldn't pull the trigger as the Americans will reset. Working in with a burst of speed is Cunningham. He'll take it to the far side corner as he gets knocked off the puck as it's pinned off by the Canadians. McGregor looking to knock that one free as it will be worked out by the Canadians. So now moved on up for Hickey. Hickey across the line as Dotson comes back hard with a burst of speed. Hickey just rings it around the boards as this one will go up to Dunn on the point. Down low for McGregor. He can't hold on to that one as it comes loose and scooped up by the Americans as they look to clear the line. Dotson makes a nice move. Dotson gets over the middle of the ice and sends it down, but will be cut off by Dixon at the Badgers logo.
USA taking advantage of their speed and really winning every race and forcing Team Canada to make a decision and move the puck, and that's leading to quick little turnovers here and there.
McGregor moves it up to the far side. Return feed for Dunn. Dunn gets across the line and will ring it around. 37 seconds left on the penalty to Farmer. This one now taken into the corner by Cozzolino. Long shot in, glove down by Lee. Rebound loose. As this one will be chipped off the glass. Takes a weird bounce off the stanchion. Dixon just holds the line. No, he doesn't, but turns into a breakaway the other way. Here comes Travis Dotson in all alone. Dotson one-on-one. Shot. Great save by Watson. Rebound chance. Stopped again. Watson shuts it down. 9 seconds left on the power play for the Canadians. Dunn chips it off the boards. He can't clear the line as it's held by Douglas. Douglas fires a long shot into the far side corner as it will be taken by the Canadians. A battle for now in the slot as Canada can't clear the line. Farmer right of the box drops it off. Long shot in, blocked in front by McGregor. Wallace was looking to get that one through. Wallace drops it off. Farmer is trying to shovel that one quickly towards the net. A backhand feed. A no-look pass, but right on target to Watson as he covers up with 17 to go in the second.
Take a bow, Corbin Watson. Not one, but two. Incredible save. One with the stick and then with the pad. The all-time leader in wins and starts for Team Canada. Shows off why he is the all-time leader in those categories. Easily could have been a 2-3-0 game, but Corbin Watson shuts it down and keeps it a 1-goal game.
Corbin Watson, 38 years old, but looking like he's 22, making that save, that series of saves, as this one will be flicked down the ice by the Canadians. Going to be a race for the puck. Icing will be waved off as it slows up just in time as Douglas has to act quickly. A sharp cut out from Wallace as the puck gets played back to the corner. Jacobs Webb, he gets pinned off into the boards. As working it out will be Roybal. Roybal, hard stop as he'll turn back behind his own goal line as Roybal looks for the outlet. Roybal sends this one down the length, and it's going to be a race for it now. Wallace trying to track down Henry as he can't catch up in time as the Canadians look to clear this out. Now just held the line, but a big hit as Roybal got laid out and lost a stick. As we move back by the Americans, hand pass called as Roybal tried to get away sneaky without the stick in hand. The quick hand pass gets whistled down, 10:26 to go in the second.
And that's the challenge about para hockey. Once you lose a stick, you lose all the speed and all the power you have in order to stick handle. And Roybal, he tried to sneak in, but unable to, and therefore we'll get a face-off outside the American zone.
Brody Roybal, one of the best American players, 253 points, I should say, as he had the goal earlier in today's game. As the Canadians will fire this to the far side corner. This one going to be slowed up by Lee. As Lee will take it out and leave it for Jones. Jones. Some big contact there as McGregor will scoop it up first. McGregor looks over his options. He spins back, trying to get away from the American captain, Josh Pauls. That one's off the side of the net. Play for now. Lee didn't know where it was, trying to tuck it home. On the sharp side was Hickey, but couldn't beat Lee. This one played to the slot, taken away by the Americans. It's going to be a foot race. Jones moves to the far side. That one gets tied up for a second. McGregor with good back check, but McGregor gets laid out as he's just trying to clear the line. As Cozzolino will come back and scoop up the loose puck.
That's a great effort by the captain, McGregor, leading by example. He leads the team in offensive point, one of the top offensive producers for this country, but also showing his defensive ability, able to reach the puck. And then when there's 3 Americans colliding to him, able to just work his way around traffic and get the puck out, but an icing call against the Canadians.
Shots 5-2 here in the second period in favor of the Americans. And now an offensive zone draw for the United States. Face-off is won cleanly by Douglas. As it will be played down low. Quick one-time shot is stopped by Wallace as Brett Bolton looked to beat the Canadian netminder with a quick shot.
Some good puck movement by the Americans, but they're not going to beat Corbin Watson with shots like that. They really got to keep moving that puck around, try to see if they can open up a chance in the slot area, because right now Corbin Watson is going to stop all those shots from the outer part of the box.
Nichols in on the draw for the Americans, and he wins it back cleanly. Quick shot by Bolton as it got deflected away and will just be covered up as it deflected off the Canadian defenseman Tyrone Henry.
Watson wanted to move that puck, but charging the net was Evan Nichols, so he elected to hold on.
We'll redo it for a third time as the faceoff is won by the Canadians. It's been one thing we've noticed, the Americans very dominant in the faceoff circle, winning a lot of the faceoffs to this point in the game, as this is going to be worked out by Lavin. 3-on-2 for the Canadians. Lavin takes it to the outside, fires a shot off the side of the net.
Jacobs Webb was right on his left, cutting to the net, but he decided to move to his right and miss the shot wide.
Jacob Webb gets pinned up against the boards by Bolton. Has cleared out and will be a race for the puck. Henry has to act quickly as Dotson closing on him. Big hit on the far side laid by the Americans as the puck can't clear the line. It's held in. Tie up for it as this one will be sent down the length of the ice by Kovacevic, and it will go for another icing call with 8:24 to go in the second.
Right now, USA, they're playing well in all categories of this game. Down low below the goal line, up top at the point, their neutral zone game and the defensive game there. Good pressure. Again, they're being physical and they're making Canada react quickly. And there's an example as forcing Canada to clear the puck, which leads to another icing.
Americans only had 6 shots in the first period, already 8 shots here in the second, just 7 minutes into the period.
Yeah, it looked like they were having trouble getting settled in this game in the first period, but now they really look like they found themselves the groove in their style of hockey, and with that, they've been in control so far in this period.
Might also be one of the facts of weathering the storm. Coming into this building, it was loud, over 1,000 people in attendance, and that can be one difficult thing to deal with. As a very tight building, it gets loud here quickly, but being able to score that goal in the first period, take the crowd out of it, get it a little bit quieter, maybe get that bit of comfort in to the game.
Yeah, the crowd certainly got quiet, but some fans, they're trying to start the wave. They're trying to see if they can help Team Canada ignite a little bit of energy in that bench.
Roybal with a nice pass through to Wallace, who will just fire it in deep. Armstrong's going to be there first to it for the Canadians. A tie-up now behind the net as Cozzolino tries to get away from danger. Cozzolino trying to just get rid of the puck. 3 Americans now behind the goal line. Trying to knock that one free as it comes loose on the side of the net. Watson can't cover it up. That one off the backside of Roybal. As walking in, blocked shot in the slot as the Canadians look to work it out the other way. 3-on-2 for the Canadians as Cozzolino gets hammered right in front of the timekeeper's box. Armstrong will fire that one in deep as Hickey goes in on the chase. Wallace will be there first as Wallace will hit the brakes and spin back. Wallace goes D to D as it's shipped off the boards, held in at the line. Canadians fire it back in deep as Cozzolino does a good job to hold the line, and it's going to be Hickey there first. Hickey takes some contact, bounces off of it, look to get it back to McGregor in the slot. Well, that one just behind him by a hair. Beasley in battle with Lavin, the other number 7, as Wallace will take it across the blue line. Wallace looked to fit that one through a sea of bodies, but couldn't get it all the way as a race for the puck, but Josh Pauls a little too quick for Zach Lavin as Pauls gets there first. Pauls being pressured into the boards as Pauls is taken down as the Canadians look to advance it. Comes loose for the Canadians now. Looking over their options as Lavin is just circling around in the offensive zone. Can't find anything forward as Cozzolino fires a quick shot and is blocked away by Lee. Going to be saucered forward as a stick came loose. Farmer's going to be there first to it, and it's Farmer who lost the stick as he goes into the offensive zone as it'll be played off the side of the net. Dixon. No reset for the Canadians as they start the breakout. So we chipped off the boards all the way down into American territory where Musselman's going to be there first. Musselman gets knocked off the puck but is able to clear the line right to the Canadians, but stepping up there is Eustace. Eustace across the line looking for the feed through but couldn't get all the way to Malik Jones. Americans hold the line. Pauls will move it down to Eustace. Right to the slot, cutting in. Farmer, a shot scooped up by Watson as he makes yet another save here in the second period.
Been a busy period for Watson, but that one was straight into the chest and an easy save there. But then so far this game, we've seen how fast Team USA is compared to Canada, winning all the puck battles, and it's become really a challenge for the Canadians. We'll see if they can try to adapt their way through around that speed.
Farmer against Dixon on the defensive zone draw for the Canadians. As Eustace comes away with the puck momentarily, but he is hounded immediately and is sent down the length of the ice. Here comes a race for it now. Cutting in, but a nice play there by Cunningham to get the inside leverage and take that puck away. Cunningham can't clear the line as Burnett looked to whack at it. He finally does get clear, and Dixon will scoop it up in neutral. Dixon leaves that one off as the linesman gets taken out again as Farmer's got to circle back. The Americans were offside. Farmer gets across the line, goes between his legs. Farmer to the outside. Farmer cuts in. Great move. Farmer still on it as the net gets knocked off. As Farmer with some great stick handling there to cut to the front as he'll have a discussion with the official about the net coming off.
We've seen a lot. The net coming off here for the Brock Badgers season, and it happens too in para hockey a lot. A hard battle between Two players driving to the net, pushing themselves out. As we take a look at right there, Dixon colliding, trying to defend the player driving towards the net. Good protection there, but that leads to the net coming off, and now a defensive zone face-off for Team Canada.
Nichols and Jacobs Webb in on the draw, and it's won by Jacobs Webb. As this one will be chipped off the boards, and another foot race ensues. Canada's going to be first there too, as Dunn gets hammered into the boards by Wallace. Wallace will play it around as Douglas looks to step up. Puck tied up at the bottom of the screen. As it will be taken away by the Canadians. Dunn works it out right in the slot. Couldn't get it all the way through as Kovacevic had trouble getting that puck on his forehand. Canadians back into the zone. Dunn chasing this puck down, but Wallace is there first as they'll take it away for the Americans. Wallace plays it through neutral where it's intercepted by the Canadians and just played in deep. Kovacevic has to touch up. Wallace sauces that one to the far side. A nice area pass, great move. And another, but is taken away by Lavin. Puck is tied up on the far side boards. Lavin has it as he's looking to find a teammate to get it out. And does, as Kovacevic will just send that through neutral. Wallace will move it back for Dotson as Dotson takes a big hit on the far side, but they'll get that one right in on target as Watson is forced to cover.
We're starting to see some fatigue out of Team Canada as it really becomes a challenge when you're hemmed in your own zone for a bit, especially in the second period when you got to push your way to the far side of the bench. And so Corbin Watson does the right thing by holding on and giving his team the chance to get some fresh ice, some fresh bodies on the ice.
Kozolino wins the draw against Mischevitz. As this will be saucered out, bouncing puck held at the line by Pauls. Kozolino now, a 2-on-1. Pauls with some great back check there to knock Kozolino off the puck. He still has possession of it. Just trying to get it loose. Moves it right to the slot. Banging away at it was McGregor, but he couldn't get a clean shot off. Pauls with a check on the far side boards. Knocks Kozolino off the puck, but stepping up was Hickey. Hickey behind the net. He'll take it with a burst of speed. Hickey right in the slot. McGregor fires a shot. Great save by Lee. Puck still loose in the crease. Taken away by Musselman. Roybal. He'll now chase it down as Kozolino is there first to it. Pauls has to stop up as that one got slowed up in the boards. Pauls is taken out. McGregor. He gets pinned up on the boards as Kozolino. Kozolino now taken out by Roybal as Burnett looks to step up. Taken away by the Americans. Could be a 2-on-1, but Armstrong's going to be there first. And Armstrong has to act quickly. Beasley hounding on him. McGregor moves that one out quickly. 1-on-1, Hickey. Hickey trying to get in the blind spot of Musselman, but couldn't as Musselman played it great on the 1-on-1. Now a 2-on-2 chance for the Americans the other way. Beasley to the outside. Trying to hawk down that puck as Kozolino cut him off. Kozolino comes away with it, but a big hit laid by Eustace at the goal line. McGregor drops that off. Could be a break chance. Hickey will just get to center and fire it in as Lee has trouble with that puck for a moment. As it was a great back-checking effort by Eustace. Jacobs Webb fresh off the bench. He'll move it over, and here comes a burst of speed. Could be a breakaway chance. Getting in all alone, taken out. And it will be a penalty. And it's a penalty shot. We are getting a penalty shot here for the Americans with 1:12 remaining in the second period.
How about that? A penalty shot for the last player Canada would want to have a penalty shot. That's Declan Farmer. He's got 203 goals in 157 games coming into this one. A big task for Corbin Watson. And a big save here could really give momentum for Team Canada, but a goal for the Americans could really shut it down for the Americans.
Declan Farmer from Tampa, Florida, the leading active scorer, 203 goals, already a point in today's game. A chance to extend the lead.
This crowd's going to go bizarre, crazy if he stops it. We'll see.
Here comes Farmer. He's coming in with a burst of speed. Takes it to the right side. Works back over the middle. Farmer in. Great move, but a poke check by Watson, and he turns him away.
Corbin Watson, have yourself a game in the 2024 Para Cup gold medal game against the Americans. He stopped 17 of 21. It was a tough one, but he's been dynamic here. You see Farmer trying to make Watson move one side or the other, unable to, and then Watson gets aggressive and goes for the poke check. And a big stop there by the veteran goaltender.
A diving poke check from Watson, and a big save there as this keeps the Canadians in the game. Just a 1-goal game. Farmer's still on the ice. He'll take the draw against Dixon. Face-off is won by Dixon, but the Americans quick on the attack as a big hit laid behind the play by Henry. Canadians looking to work the puck out as we enter the final minute here in the second period. Tie up right in front of the American bench as it finally comes loose. Worked into the slot as Wallace was cutting down. Paul is looking to hold the line. He will, and just circle it back in the zone. This one moved over the middle. Wallace steps up. Wallace fires the shot. Great save by Watson. He got a quick blocker up on that one. This one he played up high to the point. It goes into the corner, and Wallace is going to be there first. Under 30 seconds to play here in the second period. Farmer behind the net. He'll look to move that forward, but it's taken away by Dixon as he looked to play it off the glass, but I think might have hit it off the official. As it's kept in the line, the Americans might have caught a break. Up the point, Eustace will move it down low. Trying to chase it down is Jones. Under 10 to go. This one's chipped high up the glass. Net comes off again, which may work out best for the Americans as we get a stoppage and some pushing and shoving behind the play, and a penalty is called. I believe Zach Lavin will be going to the box, and they might only be taking one.
If that is the case, that's just, you can't get a worse break than that for Team Canada. They tried rimming it around the glass, but it goes off the official, and the puck stays in. USA able to maintain the offensive zone and continue to put pressure. And you're right, it is only Team Canada with the penalty. Lavin is the one. He went in the bench, but now he's not happy. He's arguing with the refs. And now for 5 seconds, the Americans will have an opportunity for one last break. But on a situation where the puck should have been cleared, could have been icing, but either way, it would have changed the whole way this period could have ended. And USA gets a big break, and now they have an opportunity to get another power play goal.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, the call for Zach Lavin, the 28-year-old from Essex. As 5 seconds on the clock here, the Americans looking to get one quick strike. It's one to Roybal. Roybal tried to set it up, but it got knocked away for a second. And the Canadians trail still 1-0 after 30 minutes of play. Shots now 17-8 in favor of the Americans.
And a much better period for the Americans. They really just dog-walked the Canadians in that period. And Canada, they did a good job maintaining that pressure. They were hemmed in their zone for a long time for a majority of this period, and they did a good job protecting the slot. You know, they didn't really get much looks in that middle of the ice. They really kept shots on the outside, and that's what Russ Harrington wants. He knows that they're going to get outplayed in this game, and he just wants to see his team able to maintain that pressure and handle, the offensive explosiveness from this team. But now, going into the locker room, they got to know they're starting this second period or third period on the penalty kill. A much-needed kill can change the whole landscape if they give up a goal or not. It's tough to be on the penalty kill, but if you're able to kill that in minute 55 off, that's a big way to get some momentum back and try to see if you can get some offensive luck, because they were very limited in that period.
15 minutes to play in game one of the Para series between Canada and USA. It's a one-goal game heading to the third period. You're not going to want to miss it here on Brocktv.
The game of lacrosse was given to the Haudenosaunee people from the creator as a gift.
Nice, good catch.
The game of lacrosse is played for healing. It's often called the medicine game.
It's a game that's about respect, and mostly it's the medicine.
The National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, it's so important because it signifies a day that allows us to come together and to remember and try and reconcile and remember why we're in the midst of truth and reconciliation.
Giving back to whoever's sick or whoever is needing it. For me personally, it's always playing for the people that played before me, people that are playing now, and the people that are playing after. Gift to us, to gift to the world.
Rugby is definitely a unique sport. There's so many different aspects to it that not only physically but mentally, it definitely takes its toll on you.
You get beat up pretty bad on the field, and it can kind of drag you down once you get back to school and through the week.
Seeing big dudes run around and then talk about their emotions and stuff is something you don't normally see, and it's something that we need to see. We need to see people showing their emotion side, showing that it's okay to not be okay.
I think just leading back to the rugby team, we're such a tight community that if you can have those open talks, then nobody's alone.
Rugby is really important, but there's bigger goals and there's bigger objectives.
We've always wanted to be involved in the community, driving programs like this where you can actually see actionable and measurable impacts.
Just try to do more than just be good athletes on the rugby field. We want to be good people as well.
We're looking to help out in the community and to do something that's just a bit bigger than ourselves.
Every single year, women in sport continue to rise.
It's so cool to see the women's game finally get the attention that they deserve.
We all support each other, and I've never seen that before.
You know, let's keep looking, let's keep getting better, let's keep growing, right? It's getting there, but it's not there.
We need to go and be us and be the best version of us so far this season.
I love the acknowledgement of women in sports.
I think it's only up from here. I think there's no limit on where it can go. There's not a single person in the world that can't see that this is really special, so I think there's no stopping it at all.
This is a historic day in the women's game.
Great morning to talk about women's sport. We just talked about the draft and the PWHL. Now we're going to focus for the next few minutes on women's professional soccer.
I'm very grateful that there is a league starting for women in Canada.
For like 6-year-olds to be like, oh my gosh, I can play professional soccer in Canada.
Rugby's been growing over the years so much.
We have incredible teams and incredible national teams that do amazing things.
Like I said, it's a new league, but the aspirations are huge. Women's pro sport is so new.
Toronto, welcome to the W.
First ever PWHL hockey game in Vancouver, a sold-out crowd welcomed the best in women's hockey.
It's so cool to see the women's game finally get the attention that they deserve.
Well, I think it's the biggest day in the history of women's hockey, I really do.
Never thought I'd see it in my lifetime, and I did, and thank goodness.
We need to go and be us and be the best version of us so far this season. At no point did I ever think that I would have the option of coaching professional soccer in Canada.
There's so many women in this game that have been phenomenal at blazing a trail for these young girls.
Every single year, women in sport continue to rise. There's no end to it.
I think it's just looking outside the box and bigger picture, not just tunnel vision on, oh, it's pretty good right now. Well, it is, but let's keep looking, let's keep getting better, let's keep growing, right? It's getting there, but it's not there.
I love the acknowledgement of women in sports. I think it's so important just for all the younger athletes to see what they can do. I think we're lucky as women in Canada because we have such a strong national team to look up to.
Rugby has been growing over the years so much, especially for women's rugby. Like, it has grown so much. Like, Canada just won 15s last year.
We've come a long way as a country, but there's no professional women's team in Canada, so I would love to see them develop a pro team here, and I think we're on the right path. It's always growing, and it's awesome.
There's been like a spike. I feel like in Canada, like soccer has become super big for women.
When I was a player, there was no semi-professional, there was no professional league to aspire to in Canada.
I definitely noticed as I was growing up, like there would become more and more leagues available. For example, when I was younger, I would play on my brother's team because there wasn't a team that like I would fit into. But like now, those options are available. There's OPDL, there's League 1, League 2, there's U20, there's so many different opportunities for people to be able to like, especially women, to be able to explore that.
Canada's kicking off their first ever women's professional league, and it's kicking off in 2 months, 3 months. I think it's incredibly exciting.
When I was growing up, we only knew the famous men's players. So I think it's a beautiful thing to see that these kids are able to look up to some women in their sports.
Fast forward to where we are now, it's incredible how far we've come. Obviously, also saying there's still a long ways to go, but I think it's important to credit the progression that we've made.
Honest to God, so since I was a player, you know, that's like 50 years ago, it's unbelievable.
Within the last kind of like 5 years, the girls like minor programs have really been elevated in a different way.
I didn't really start playing hockey, organized hockey, until I was about 12. My family, they didn't think it was normal for girls to be playing hockey. And there was a team that I signed up with my brother, and they wouldn't allow me to because I was a girl.
Originally, I started playing ringette when I was younger because I didn't want to play with my brother. So now when I do go home and I see that there are girls teams for all the young ones, it's pretty cool.
Girls that are coming up through minor hockey right now are coming up at the perfect time because you know, as the professional side grows, there's going to be more teams that come around, and there's going to be lots of room for them.
Like, the opportunity is immense, and it's just not for players, but it's for officials, it's for medical staff and trainers and stats and analytics and equipment people, and like there's so much, and it's just so cool and so wonderful.
I think it's only up from here. I think there's no limit on where it can go. There's not a single person in the world that can't see that this is really special, so I think there's no stopping it at all.
I would say at times difficult, but very, very rewarding.
It's difficult because of opportunity. It's always people second guessing you. It's always people doubting you.
I think one of the challenges is just always needing to prove ourselves. There's always a push here for the women's team to be able to fight for their spot.
If they don't believe in me, then I don't believe in myself sometimes.
The biggest thing is always seeing the equity piece not being there. And no matter what coaching position I have been in, there's always been that challenge of, hey, this isn't right, and always having to fight.
Played on teams where the women's team in this club is put down, they are put to the side, they aren't cared about. There's times when we on club teams have been given like all of the flat balls in training, and you're given the minimum, but it's just little things that make it harder to succeed.
So it gets really quite fatiguing, where you're constantly trying to battle for something that, in my mind, should just be a norm and should be in place already.
So it's tough. You have to fight battles, and you have to fight for what you believe your team deserves. But I also think it's incredibly rewarding because there are times when you aren't given the same resources as other teams and you succeed more.
I think it's just always those hurdles, and like, I got by, I got by, I got by.
We've created an insane amount of resilience in push, and I think for me that will follow everywhere in my job, in my future as a person.
You're going to learn resilience and grit. All of those things are really important things to learn in life. And what a better way to learn it through sport, and in a sport you love and you're having fun with, and you have an instant group of family that you're leaving family but coming into an instant family here, right? It's amazing.
It's been incredible to see the community at Brock, truly, especially the women's community.
We are very fortunate to have as many women coaches as we do. And like I said, I think it's quite rare. Like our executive director of Brock Sports and Recreation and our associate director of Brock Sports are both women. We have women's basketball, female head coach, women's hockey, female head coach. Rowing, I'm not even gonna say women's rowing. Rowing has a female head coach and a female associate head coach.
I don't think that you get that a lot anywhere else. And we kind of all just rally together and we're here for each other. And
the community that we have, just I think one of the best that I've ever been in terms of direct colleagues. And I think when the players get to see us collaborating with each other too, it just creates an environment where they want to do it as well.
Us being student athletes, we're such a small cohort here at Brock, and it's a unique ability to be a varsity athlete.
Specifically women who have gone through what you've gone through, which isn't necessarily these big challenges, but just being a woman in sport is a challenge in itself sometimes.
We've all kind of had like some shared events, like one Canada event that's kind of led us to this area, whether that's playing on a boys team when we were younger because we needed to play up but there wasn't that team available.
We can obviously find those connections really quickly and understand what we're going through.
We all support each other, and I've never seen that before. We go to each other's sports because we know how hard it is to play a game and not have people come watch you because you're a women's team.
Like those little efforts make so much impact on such a small community of Brock sports. Like it was amazing.
Supporting each other is the best way to kind of get out there, make some friends, and really just hone in that we are special here on campus. And I think there's so many amazing athletes here that go beyond their careers at Brock and do fantastic things. Everyone's so talented, and I think it's fascinating every single time that I go support another team.
It's honestly been beautiful to see it. It's like a heartwarming moment. We have so many teams come support us. The women's basketball team comes to our games, women's volleyball, rugby. It really creates bonds and supports the teams, understanding that, we're there for you and we know where you're at. I think it helps us to be better players and to just be better people, honestly.
Constant reminder that, we belong here. Constant reminder that we can do just the same that the boys can. It might look a little different, but, we're just as tough, we're just as mean. We're strong, we're capable, and we're pretty badass, so. I think that it's a really special feeling to, be one of very many women in sport that are every day trying to prove someone wrong and blaze a trail for the ones coming up behind us.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Canada Game Park for third period action between Team Canada and Team USA here in the 2025 Paris Series. After 30 minutes of play, Team USA still leads by a score of 1-0 on the lone Brody Roybal goal. The power play marker in the first period. I'm Mitch Kane, joined alongside by Stéphane Berube with 34 seconds leading up to the start of the third period. How are we feeling entering the final frame?
Well, one of the keys to the game for Russ Harrington's Team Canada's team was offense starts from defensive commitment. That's exactly how this period has to start for Team Canada. In order to get some offense, they've got a big penalty to kill out. 1:55. That's a lot of time for the Americans. They've done a really good job in moving the puck around, using their speed to their advantage, really hemming the defensive down low. And they're going to look to keep doing that, try to see if they can make Team Canada a little bit tired, try to see if they can use their speed to their advantage. But for Team Canada, overall, they've done a good job in managing this offensive explosive team. Corbin Watson has been phenomenal, stopping 16 of 17, and those 17 shots, they've not been easy. One of them, obviously, counting the penalty shot, a lot of good looks from Team USA, but Watson has kept his country in this game and keeping it to a 1-goal deficit.
Watson denied the leading American scorer, Declan Farmer, on that penalty shot. Farmer has 1 assist on that power play goal earlier in the period. Currently, Zach Lavin is in the box. Got an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty with 5 seconds to go in the second period, which is his second penalty of the game. So the Canadians, a big kill here to start the third period. And it's going to be Farmer in on the draw for the Americans, as Wallace talking with his goaltender, Jen Lee. Jen Lee, formerly served in the U.S. Army, speaks fluent Mandarin as well. So far, 8 for 8 on the night, as he is looking to pitch a shutout bid against the Canadians here in Game 1. As we are underway, third period action, the Americans looking to get off to a quick start. They fire it in deep as Armstrong will be back on the puck, and he sends it down the length of the ice, as the Americans can't get set up early here on the power play. Back on it first will be the captain, Josh Pauls. Pauls moves it forward as Misevich leaves it off for Farmer. Farmer working on the short side as he gets taken out by Armstrong, as Armstrong lays a check on him. Wallace will circle and leave it off for Pauls. Pauls cutting towards the corner. Pauls for Wallace. Wallace right into the slot. Great feed for Farmer. Farmer looking to get a handle of Farmer. Shot just up and over the net. Looking to pick that top left corner. Pauls back for Farmer. Right in the slot. Roybal drops it off, as Farmer will take it slowly. Farmer, a nice little saucer feed over for Pauls as he looks to get it off quickly, as Tyler McGregor is closing in on him. Mischevitz works it up for Pauls. Backed out for Mischevitz, but he wasn't paying attention, as the return feed goes errant, and Henry sends it down the length of the ice. Takes a bad bounce for Pauls. That's going to be a race for it. Lee way over his net. McGregor looking to cut off Roybal, but Roybal's there first, and he'll drop it off with 30 seconds left in the American power play. Pauls gets that one up for Mischevitz. That one deflects in and will be cleared right back out to the neutral zone. Pauls back on it. Pauls across the line just onside. We'll move it to open space for Farmer. 10 seconds left on the power play. Farmer to the outside, moves it right into the slot. Mischevitz had that one jump his stick, but still on possession. Canadians blocked that pass for a minute, and it's cleared down and out. We are back to even strength hockey with 13 exactly left in the third period. Farmer.
And by far the best penalty kill for Team Canada. Again, not allowing anything in the middle. Good sticks in the lane. And good pressure down low, and good forechecking overall. They get this penalty killed, and now we'll see if they can use that momentum to get some offense now.
Boyley moves that one forward, and it'll be chipped in by the Canadians. Dotson, he'll scoop it up first on the far side wall, as he has to get away from Dunn. Dunn circling back, as though he moved out by the Americans, as it deflects off the helmet, I believe, of Cunningham. And the Canadians take it away. Back on it now will be Grove. He chips that one off the board. It's going to be a race for the puck as Burnett looking to chase it down, as Burnett will take it behind the net and ring it around the boards. Cozzolino takes a big hit on the near side boards from Dotson as he can't clear the line. Jacobs Webb moves it to the far side, intercepted by Bolton. Bolton now stepping up. Bolton takes a big hit as he just chops that one forward as it goes behind the Canadian goal line. Dotson can't get to that puck first as Dunn chops at the stick, and Dunn will play it off the glass, held in at the line. The Americans drop this one off. 11:40 to go here in the third period, as Nichols is cut off into the boards, and it'll be taken away by Lavin. Lavin sends a high floater, intercepted at about the red line by Grove. It is fired back in deep by the Americans. They'll go for a wholesale change, as only one American enters the offensive zone. The Canadians play that one out into open space as Musselman will drop it off for Pauls. Pauls has that intercepted, though. Here's a chance for McGregor the other way. McGregor fires the long shot, turned away by Lee. Big rebound, but no Canadian in sight. Big hit laid by Jones as he had the reverse hit on the Canadians as Henry goes behind the net. Armstrong trying to work that puck out, but has it stripped away for a moment. As the Canadians struggling to clear the blue line. They finally do. Cozzolino on the chase. Cozzolino can't get there first as Musselman cuts him off. And it will be scooped up by Eustace. Eustace around the boards. As Malik Jones has it on the far side. Has it knocked away for a moment, but Eustace there to scoop it up and flip it down the length of the ice. Will it go for icing? Farmer trying to make a move. Farmer gets around, but icing still the call. Farmer with a shifty effort to get around Armstrong, but icing still the call.
Well, Farmer just showing more of that speed, and then McGregor, on the other hand, had a great opportunity, but again, it's that speed. They don't just let you in and force you to the outside. They're going to attack you because they know that there are other teammates that are able to catch up to their opponents, and just like that, attacking their opponent, forces shots from the outside, makes it so easy for Jen Lee to make a save because they're all shooting from the outside and from long range.
Chance for the Canadians now to catch the Americans tired, as the faceoff will be won by Canada, but it's blocked away as here comes Farmer. Farmer sauces that one forward, but it's knocked down by Boyley as a chase for the puck ensues. Boyley will just backhand this one out for Dixon. Dixon takes a big hit in neutral and sends it down the ice. No icing the call, as the Americans will have to go back and retreat this one. Musselman lays a big hit in the American side corner as Eustace looks to work out the puck. Pauls just flips that one out of the American zone as there'll be a race for the puck. Getting there first was Henry. And a whistle blown. And it's going to be too many men against the Americans as they're caught with 6 on. And Canada is headed back to the power play.
Well, talking about turning the tide, so far Canada have been putting more and more pressure offensively. And now a miscommunication from the American side leads to a too many men penalty. And now Team Canada will get their second look on the power play. It was a tough first power play. USA probably had more chances, but now in the third period, obviously a lot on the line here. We'll see if they made some adjustment and see if they can get some better looks.
Canada only 0 for 1 in the game to this point as Dixon will move this up to the point. McGregor looking to go on the no-look pass, but it's intercepted and could be a break. Working in, it's Wallace. Jack Wallace to the forehand shot. Great save by Watson. Rebounds there, but couldn't pull the trigger. Dotson scoops it up. He's now moved along the board side as McGregor applying the pressure, but it's controlled by the Americans. McGregor got a stick on that as it's deflected through neutral. As it's popped a mile high, as Dunn will just smack it with the backhand. Through for the Canadians. Hickey leaves that off for McGregor. McGregor carving into the offensive zone as he gets hammered. But Dixon scoops it up. Dixon fires it down low. A chance in tight between the legs. Great save by Jen Lee. Puck still loose at the side of the net. Canadians control. Dixon moves it over. Hickey shot. He scores! Liam Hickey ties the game on the power play.
And the crowd goes wild. What a goal by Liam Hickey, his 74th for Team Canada, and a big power play goal. This game is tied. Hickey able to go from right to left, goes far side over the glove of Lee. And after Lee made by far the save of the game, Canada able to get another good look, and they cash in, and it's tied at 1 apiece with 8.5 to go here in period number 3.
Jen Lee, an incredible save, a sprawling effort to hold it on the goal line, but the Americans couldn't clear the line. Canada resetting quickly. And as you mentioned, the right to left between the legs, the beautiful shot from the left hand. Top corner, Lee had no chance on it. And with 8:36 to go, we are tied.
You talk about a snipe. That is a pure definition of a hockey snipe.
Here come the Americans back quickly on the far side. Puck in the feet of Jacobs Webb as he'll take it away. Jacobs Webb, he can't clear the line.
And just from that small sequence there, you can just tell Team Canada, they have more energy. They've got life now. This game is tied. It looked like USA was going to shut it down, but a big power play opportunity comes along. They take advantage of it, and now they've got some more pep to their step.
The official goal was Liam Hickey, assisted by Adam Dixon and Tyler McGregor. Tyler McGregor now with 272 career points in international play as he picked up the secondary assist. As the crowd goes crazy, here is the PA announcer Rod Mahood announcing all the schools that are here as we have a bit of a delay in the game as the face-off will come outside.
You talk about home ice advantage. This is the reason why we call it that. The crowd is loud. When Hickey scored that goal, the fans were banging on the glass behind the Americans bench. And there's life not only for Team Canada, but for all the fans.
This one played in deep quickly by Eustace. Big check on the far side boards as this one will be played through neutral and taken away by the Americans. Cunningham lays a big reverse hit as he gets the puck in for a moment, but now it's going to be a chase for it. Farmer's back there first as applying the pressure is done. Farmer embracing the contact from Dunn as he'll just sauce it over to the far side for Eustace. Eustace had that one bounce off his blade as he'll just recover quickly and fire it in behind the Canadian net. Henry will chip that one around Farmer as Farmer was quickly applying the pressure as Dunn moves it to neutral. This one flipped back in deep for the Americans. No icing the call as Farmer comes in with a burst of speed. When you watch Farmer carve around, he really digs his arms in there, and you can tell he's the fastest player out there on the ice as Pauls will look to circle it back down. Farmer, side of the net. Farmer trying to tuck it home right into the blue paint, but a great play by Hickey to clear it.
Hickey, the goal scorer, showing his ability to shoot the puck and to defend. He saved a goal there.
This puck played in deep by the Americans as Nichols will go in on the chase as a player lost the stick, and I believe it was Armstrong. Puck played right out in the slot. No blue shirts near as a breakaway chance as it gets all the way through for Hickey, but Pauls with a great job on the back check to take it away. Pauls in on the rush, just onside. Pauls, a nice pass through. Dotson a chance. Great save by Watson as he gets low to deny Travis Dotson.
Well, another save for Corbin Watson, able to get from one post to another and take away all the open net available. You take a look. Great feed, by the way, by Pauls. And that's a great shot, too, by Dotson, but just a better save for Corbin Watson.
Perfectly placed by Dotson, trying to get that low corner when Watson's sliding across. As this one, a long stretch feed up for McGregor. He'll take it in and leave it off for Hickey. Hickey, a nice move through as he tried to toe drag it between his legs, but couldn't get all the way through. Some contact on the far side of the ice. McGregor cutting in, but a long pass down the length of the ice. Will it go for icing? Yes, it will, as Armstrong's there first. 6:01 to go in the third.
Over 6 to go and another offensive opportunity. Canada had a couple opportunities in the neutral zone to get a possible breakaway or on-man rush, but USA able to disrupt that opportunity. But now a tired group of Americans on against a fresh group of Canadians.
Faceoff is won by the Americans as Wallace will go behind the net and chip it off the boards. Roybal. He'll swing it to the far side for Douglas. Douglas advances it up as it will be Beasley who just chips it into the offensive end. Beasley takes it into the corner. He gets pinned up by Henry. Puck finally comes loose as will be scooped up by the Canadians as Cozzolino gets taken down and is on top of the puck. The Americans trying to bash it free as Roybal's there first. Cozzolino back on it as McGregor will now take. McGregor, long pass across the ice as it will be scooped up by Wallace. He spins and fires. It's knocked down by McGregor for a second. Trying to find McGregor now as it's worked to the far side. Boyle across the line. He'll just dump it in as he takes the hit.
Canada felt pretty good, like they had a jump in their step, but that delay shut that down. It kind of quieted the crowd, quieted the bench, and USA was able to quickly find their game back before that momentum took over the game, and now they're back up on top.
That play all started from Jack Wallace as he saw the lane from his own end, took it out from behind his own net, and just went on a burst. Was able to fire that shot. A great placement shot that led the rebound as Farmer gets taken down and will just be covered up quickly by Watson with 4:11 to go in the third.
Yeah, and Wallace with his 86 assist, and great shot, great save by Watson, but Beasley was right there crashing the net as he's supposed to be, and he was there to jam it home. And Watson, he can't stop them all. That's a tough one to save. Made the initial stop, but couldn't stop that rebound.
Face-off is won by Farmer as a long shot in will miss wide of the target. As the Canadians are there first, and it's played down the length of the ice. Cunningham chasing it down. This one will go for icing. The Canadians won't be able to change with 3:55 to go in the third.
Now Canada trailing again. They're going to want to get settled in the offensive zone, but that won't be happening if they keep icing the puck. But that's what USA is capable of doing. Again, their speed. Take away the space, take away their time, force a play, and that leads to icing, and now they keep the puck in the offensive zone.
Musselman takes a big hit as the Canadians look to work it out. This one chipped off the boards, but that one outside the reach of McGregor, and will go for yet another icing call. As the Canadians having trouble getting anything started at this point. Shots 22-11 in favor of the Americans. Americans looking to put the dagger in this game. The Canadians looking to tie it once again. Farmer in on the draw. Puck is on the ice and is taken by Musselman, who fires a quick shot, but it got blocked away as there was a sea of bodies in front. Hickey, he gets pinned into the boards as the puck will come loose, but can't clear the line. Pauls does a good job to hold it in. Pauls shuffles that one forward as it's off the side of the net, and Watson just pokes it away with a stick. McGregor will send that one around as it gets played off the boards again. Cutting in is Musselman, looking to hold the line. Musselman, he takes a big hit, as will be taken by the Americans. Clock ticking away here for the Canadians. They need to get the puck out quickly. Scooping it up will be Hickey, the goal scorer for Canada. McGregor shuffles that one forward. It's to the far side. Cozzolino, he'll slow up and saucer it forward. Looking for Boyle. Boyle across the line. Boyle gets hammered into the boards there by Douglas, as the Americans look to work it out again. Here comes Eustace. Eustace across the line. Eustace waits, moves to the slot. Farmer a chance, trying to shuffle that forward as it looked like Watson made the save. And it will finally clear the line. Eustace doesn't know where the puck is. He's got to slow up. He was going for a change. He'll just fire it to the far side. As stepping up will be Cozzolino. Cozzolino throws on the brakes as we approach the 2-minute mark here in the third period. As a target pass will just be thrown for the Canadians as it goes to open space, but scooped up by Douglas. So now move forward for Farmer. Out of 45 minutes in this game, you could almost say Farmer's played about 38 of them. It seems like he is always out there for the Americans, and for good reason. But he is not taking many shifts off.
Well, he basically averages almost 2 points every game, and so you want that ability to put the puck in the back of the net almost every time.
James Dunn across the line will fire that one in as Lee shuffles it away. Cunningham can't clear the line as Dixon will fire it back in deep. 1:15 to go here in the third period. Canadians looking for the equalizer.
Empty net.
Empty net upcoming. 6-on-5 here for the Canadians. Puck loose at the side of the net. It finally comes away for a moment. Americans looking to clear the line. Last minute of play here in the third period. The Canadians right in the slot. Chance. Jacobs Webb fires a shot at a bouncing puck. I don't think Lee knew where it was.
That's a good block by Grove right there.
Jacobs Webb, a shot. Loose in the slot. Lee with a quick cover. As a near scoring chance for the Canadians gets stifled with 40.1 to go in the third.
Lavin was ready. The puck was right in front of him. He was ready to jam it home. But Lee able to cover the puck. And we have a timeout call from Team Canada. Obviously down 2-1. They've sustained some offensive zone time. They got the offensive face-off that they're looking for. They can, not much time left to go, but they can get something. Obviously, you mentioned how they've been dominated in the face-off. Biggest face-off of this game coming up right now. They have to win it, and if they don't, they got to make sure they put pressure on and make sure they don't allow USA to cleanly get the puck out.
Desperation time now for Team Canada. 40 seconds on the clock. A 1-goal game. 6-on-5 shots in this game. 23-13 in favor of the Americans. Shots 6-5 in favor of the Americans here in the third period. Canada sending out all of the top gunners. On the draw, it will be Cozzolino. Face-off is tied up and won by the Canadians momentarily, but stepping in is Eustace as he flips it down, and it might be a foot race for it. Boyley's got a hustle as tracking him down is Roybal. Boyley nearly loses that puck as Boyley takes it behind the net. Boyley has that one bounce off his stick as it comes up to the point. Wallace fires it, trying to get it into the empty net, but can't get it all the way through as it's blocked in front, and Boyley will take it away. Boyley moves to the far side. 10 seconds left for the Canadians. One last rush. Dixon drops it off. Dunn fires a long shot in, glove down by Lee with 4.0 to go.
And with that 4 second, this will be the last face-off possibly of this game. So I'm wondering, that last face-off, once the timeout ended, they had 5 lined up and 1 playing back. I wonder if they're going to go 6 maybe up front, or maybe it looks like they might switch it up with now 4 up front, 2 in the back. So they're going to try to win it back and then just pucks on net.
Face-off is tied up, and that will do it. The Americans take game 1 of the 2025 Para Series by a score of 2-1. What a game we were treated to in game 1 of the series.
Well, that's USA and Canada hockey right there. It doesn't matter what sport it is. Expect a good, intense, and a close matchup, and that's what we got here. Only game 1 of 3. We still got 2 more of these, and then the 3 women's, but overall, a great game for both sides. Good way to start off. Love the way Canada defended. Love the way how USA showed off their offensive ability from speed, skills, and everything. And obviously, they still got 2 more games to go. Big, important games. Obviously, when you look at this game doesn't really mean anything. But for the players, it means absolutely everything. And you can tell from the way they're playing, they're leaving everything on their line. They're sacrificing their bodies. And it's been a great game, a great atmosphere, and overall a good start to this series.
As we mentioned in the pregame, the Canadians haven't had the best luck against the Americans over the past 3 years or so, but they did a really good job to fight back tonight. They were down 1-0 for a majority of this game. We were able to tie it up late in the third period, but the Americans ultimately prevail late in the game as they take game 1. Game 2 goes Friday night, 7 o'clock back here at Canada Games Park, but that's not all the action we have for para hockey. The women's para hockey team, Canada versus U.S., goes tonight, 6:30 p.m. You're not going to want to miss that. But Stéphane, tell me your 3 stars from tonight's matchup.
Well, you mentioned his name many times, and again, rightfully so. He is the best offensive player for this Americans. Declan Farm, only an assist in this one, the assist on that first goal, but again, his ability to stick handle the puck, go one way to the other, his ability to turn around quickly, move it around, His mobility is so impressive, and of course the speed. As my second star, I got to go on the Canadian side. It was only a 2-1 game because of this guy, Corbin Watson, stopping 21 of 23 shots faced. And it's not just 21 saves that were regular shots. He had a couple tough ones. He had the penalty shot, very aggressive, really good. His mobility as well as a goalie, able to go post to post. It's a lot more challenging, as a para-hockey goaltender. You've got the nails on the glove, but he made it look like it was super easy. A couple big stops that kept it to a 2-1 game, and he made it a very interesting game. But for my first star, I've mentioned him many times, defenseman Jack Wallace. 2 assists added to his 85 assist total. He's got 87 assists now. I love the way he plays. Such a strong two-way game. A defensive defenseman, an offensive defenseman. He showed out his offensive ability. I love the way he moves the puck, uses his speed to his advantage, and then defensively, he's not afraid to attack you on an on-man rush. He trusts his teammates so well, and he is capable of shutting down a play, and he gets my first star for this first game.
Yeah, I can't say I disagree with any of those. Great choices there. Declan Farmer, as we mentioned, former ESPY winner in 2014, the leading scorer for the Americans. He was an impact player all night, showcasing his speed and skill. The second star, Corbin Watson from Kingsville, Ontario. A great game between the pipes, made numerous big saves, kept the Canadians in this for a large portion of the game, stopping the penalty shot chance, stopping the double breakaway at one point. He really fought to keep the Canadians in this, but the first star, Jack Wallace, absolutely a great game. He really led that second goal, just took off from behind his own net, saw a lane, and just went end-to-end, firing the shot, leaving the rebound right on the doorstep for Caden Beasley. As the Americans take game one, a lot of great players in this game. We saw, obviously, the goal scorer from Team Canada and Liam Hickey, whose birthday was yesterday, but also Dominic Cozzolino, Tyler McGregor, Adam Dixon, all fantastic games. On the American side, we saw great games from Brody Roybal. Josh Paul's great on the back end. And once again, Jen Lee was spectacular in between the pipes, stopping 13 of 14 tonight. Just the lone power play goal got by him. But that will do it from Canada Games Park for Game 1 of the Para Series. USA takes it by a score of 2-1. Thank you all so much for watching.